Hi guys, I'm Isabel, and today I will be presenting on a passage from the story It Ends With Us, written by Colleen Hoover. To give an introduction and background, this is a 2016 romance novel which tells the story of Lily Bloom and her romance with Ryle Kincaid. The story traces her past history of growing up in an abusive household, her abusive relationship, and her escape from said relationship. Lily has a difficult childhood seeing her father abuse her mother so often, which makes her feel helpless. As an adult, she has a difficult time figuring out whether or not the caring man she's in love with is actually showing the same abusive habits as her father. In this passage, Lily has just given birth to her and Ryle's daughter, Emerson. The theme I decided to present on today is the theme of inner courage. The passage I chose demonstrates Lily's inner courage during a moment where maintaining strong mental stability would be challenging. This moment shows the extent to which her character portrays the theme of inner courage. The passage I chose was on page 358, near the very end of the novel. I look at Emerson and I look at Ryle, and I know that I have to do what's best for her, for the relationship I hope she builds with her father. I don't make this decision for me, and I don't make it for Ryle. I make it for her. Ryle? When he glances at me, he's smiling, but when he assesses the look on my face, he stops. I want a divorce. He blinks twice. My words hit him like voltage. He winces and looks back down at our daughter, his shoulders hunched forward. Lily, he says, shaking his head back and forth, please don't do this. His voice is pleading, and I hate that he's been holding on to hope that I would eventually take him back. So the first thing I wanted to point out was the use of the word look. I look at Emerson and I look at Ryle, and I know that I have to do what's best for her. The repetition of the word look is very important and has been placed at the very beginning of this passage purposefully. Lily has to physically look at her newborn and then look at her husband in order to make a decision. She first looks at Emerson and then at Ryle. Immediately after, her mind is made up. Though she still very much cares for Ryle, it is the look of her newborn that fuels her inner courage to make a decision directly after looking at both of these people that she cares for. And then I wanted to point out the phrase, I want a divorce. When he glances at me, he's smiling, but when he assesses the look on my face, he stops. I want a divorce. Lily needs to break the news to Ryle and decides to do so in a very abrupt manner. She follows the phrase, I want a divorce, with no further explanation. This shows that she doesn't feel the need to explain such a huge decision. Although she knows Ryle won't be happy with this, she has enough inner courage to announce the decision simply and in a matter-of-fact way. The timing of this phrase is also significant. Lily is holding her child for the very first time. Giving birth is anything but easy, and Lily still finds the courage to speak her mind. She isn't distracted by the love Ryle is showing their daughter, nor the simple fact that Emerson is in her arms for the first time. She needs a great amount of courage to make her decision during a moment like this. The next thing I wanted to point out was the use of the words blinks, hit, winces, hunched, and shaking. These physical body movements play an important role. Because this passage is written with so many physical body movements, you can really pick up on how Ryle physically rejects Lily's statement of wanting a divorce. It physically affects him, and because Lily is the narrator, she is clearly picking up on this. To see her husband in such physical distress is difficult, but it does not waver her strongly made decision. It is also important to make note of all the short sentences within this passage. Because there are no drawn-out sentences, the author makes for an intense read. It's as if the narrator is thinking moment to moment, and it emphasizes the intensity of the situation. Readers are unaware of what's going to happen next. The use of short sentences in this case makes for a very dramatic scene. And lastly, I wanted to point out the word hate, which plays an important role in the passage. It is in the last sentence of this passage and shows that Lily is not pleased in any way by the situation. It isn't a moment where she receives happiness or joy. Her decision to get a divorce is not only hard on Ryle, but hard on her. She hates that the man she loved was clinging to hope. She feels bad that she has to let him down in this way. Regardless of this feeling of hate and sympathizing for Ryle, she still sticks to her decision for the well-being of Emerson, which takes a great deal of inner courage as a mother. Thank you.